One Take Wine, we're back. It's very cold, early February day, 2023. I've just left some wines at auction. Maybe I'll post an update about that because it's my first time in a proper auction. I've sold wines before, but this is through an auction where people come fast and furious with, hopefully, with price changes. And basically I'm selling two La Tâche, 13 and a 14. 13 hurt because that's 10-year anniversary this year. 14 and then the 14 Richebourg, Romanée Saint-Vivant and Grand Echezot. All great wines. I'm pretty positive. I tasted the 14s early when they were released, but nothing since then. 13 same. I know they're fantastic, but financial reality, and I want to drink some more wine, some more other types of wines, and I think the prices now are kind of so ridiculous. I mean, I got them at the release prices, and then the difference between the market value and the release price is so outrageous that I have to ignore my own common sense, and that's taking a lot because that's it's, I'm not gonna lie, it's painful. I don't really want to sell them, but it doesn't matter. I've put them in the market now, and we're gonna see what happens. I will let you know. A bit of a crusher, but I've kept some other. I got a couple of examples of DRC still in the fridge, which I'm not going to sell. Hell or high water. And I've got some other great wines I can drink, and this will free up a little bit of liquidity so that I can continue to bring these silly notes to you. All right, what do we got today? It's a twofer. Again, two. I shouldn't do that, probably. I should do that. Two. The first one being, look at the color of this. It's so pale. It's so light. It's so dainty looking. And a real nose of candy floss. I know, right? I mean, I've said this before. And lemon drops and candy floss. You've heard that note before, maybe, and if not, I won't keep you in suspense. It's the Dominio del Aguila, the Men of the Eagle. This one's in 2018. The last two I've had are 15, 16, and 17. 15 and 16 I bought a ton of. My financial situation was in a place that I could, so I was snapping them up. 17 I bought 2 or 3 just to drink, and they're long gone. 18 I've only bought a couple, but I think, like an engineer, one of anything is none. So you got to buy 2 bottles. So I bought 2 bottles. This is the first one. This is an Albillo. Albillo, I can't pronounce them. Albillo, I think it's Albillo, but it could be Albillo. And like I say, it's got that candy floss, lemon drop type of feel. Very dry. Very penetrating. Beautiful acidity in this. Beautiful, beautiful, just like the previous vintages. Mouth-watering acidity. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful balance and drive. Absolutely gorgeous in that sense. And a very, it's super long. And I have to say, this is remarkable wine. It's really, really good value for what it is. Tall puddle for the win in terms of most interesting and fun new Chardonnay, but regardless, the class of this is probably the classiest wine you can possibly get at this price is this. I always compare these wines to Roulot. I think Guy Roulot makes wines like this. There's a bit of exotica in this that you won't find in the Chardonnay. But boy, oh boy, what a well-made wine. This is 96, 97 points every day of the week. And so long with that very mineral, stony finish. Very severe right now, kind of like sucking on rocks from a spring at the bottom of a well. And then just this kind of juiciness that appears in the middle of the palate and sort of finishes with that. It's almost like as if somebody signed, their name, and then at the end went like the mark of Zorro. It's fabulous, fascinating. Love it. These guys never let me down. I would say this. When I first opened it, it was far more muted. It's been open for a little over an hour now. Do that. Carafe it if you're going to drink it young. Carafe it, wait an hour, then go for it and drink it over the course of a day. Can't go wrong. These are just marvelous examples of what great winemakers do. I'm so impressed by this winemaker. I mean, Dominio de Aguila. Mark it down and buy some if you get the chance. If they show up on a shelf, they don't make a lot. So, again, this is one of the perks of living in Sweden. We get Dominio de Aguila with some regularity and some volume. Most important things in fine wine. Okay, on to the next one. Reluctantly, because I could probably talk about that some more. And look at, you can see the color of this, the purple of this. It's super young. Ooh, what a fruit nose. This is the Diana Madeline 2018. I don't know if I've reviewed this either. It's 19 actually, not 18, 19. And 19 was, to be honest, a bit of a wasn't that the vintage in Australia where they had a lot of smoke damage? I don't know that it would have happened around here. I need to look into this. But there's no indication of that on this wine. In any case, it's just that I think the vintage was downgraded because of the wildfires. This is so blackcurrant and green pepper, those two dominant flavors on the nose and on the palate. On the nose, there's some power. There's some almost as if it's going to be a eau de vie. I don't think it's remarkable. It's not super alcoholic. It's 13.5, so it's not really a ton. But this is a sunny wine. I don't know that the vintage was sunny. It was flamey, but who knows? In terms of the sunshine, she's a biodynamic producer. The Cullen family are. I think the winemaker, she subscribes to the whole biodynamic and the proper biodynamic thing where we're burying horns full of horse shit and things like that. I think so. But at least biodynamic principles are in play here for sure. There's a beefiness to this, a wine that wants to give you a great big fat hug. That's what it is. It's lovely. I like this wine a lot. I mean, it doesn't have a piercing minerality to finish. It doesn't have. It is mostly about that sort of round corpulence approach, but at the same time, it's enveloping and it's persistent, so it lasts without drive. More just persistence. More lingers, in the sides. And that blackcurrant flavor is so tremendously clean and pure and beautiful. It's really wonderful. The green pepper belies the Cabernet Franc, I think. in my opinion. If there's some Cabernet Franc, I don't know. There usually is. There's Merlot. Cabernet Sauvignon is the dominant. 87% Cabernet Sauvignon, 7% Merlot, 3% Cabernet Franc, 2% Malbec, and 1% Petit Verdot. So it's a classic Bordeaux blend type of wine. I've had these in older vintages that I bought at auction for a steal, and I must say they age tremendously well. They're under screw cap, so they're not gonna. There's no danger of cork taint, and the aging is very, very slow. So I mean, I would say these are great wines for investment purposes, as long as you don't want to see a return in the next 20 years. If you want to just shove these away, that's what you should do. I love drinking wines young, and that's why I appreciate a little more minerality, maybe, because it's cleaner, refreshing. Burgundy in general performs quite well when it's young, in my opinion. But I've always liked Diana Madeline, the Cullen Diana Madeline. I like all their wines, really, except for the orange one. And it's a very good wine. It doesn't have the stature of 17. It doesn't. It just doesn't. It's a little bit loosier, goosier for now. It may mature a little earlier and come à point. Be ready for delivering the best it can deliver earlier than the 17. But I've had the 11. It's fantastic. It really was. I had the 11 for I think it was less than what these are new. If you can find them at auction, buy them. If you can't, buy the new ones and tuck them away. Or if you're a fan of brawny fruit wines, without the aggressive, I'm trying too hard profile of, say, a California Cabernet, this is your wine. I'm going to give it 93 to 94 points, just because I know the quality and because I like it. It's not something I want to drink a lot of. I'm glad I tried it. I'm not going to buy any more. Until the next time, stay absolutely as thirsty as you possibly can and enjoy yourself. Life is short. See you soon.